Hey guys, we are on our final night of our Halloween can with the pokes, and we are going to put everything together tonight. So if you've been following along with us, in our first video we made our can. This is a 5-pound can, I believe, and we painted this and did a cinnamon on it to make it look rusty. So that was video number 1, if you want to go back and check that out. The second video, we did this primitive label, and we hand painted the October 31 on the label, and then we adhered it to our can. So that was video number 2. Video number 3, we did this pumpkin head poke. He's got his little cinnamon stick stem, and his head or his face is hand stitched. Hi, Miss Brenda. So that was video number 3. Video number 4, or tutorial number 4, we did this cat head, and he features the hand stitched face. Then what, we're up to video number 4, I believe. 1, 2, 3, number 5. On number 5, we did the witch. And she has a hand-stitched face. She's got some wool hair and her cute little 3-dimensional hat. Hi, Rhonda. So tonight, we are going to put the whole thing together. All of the elements that we've been working on, we're going to put them together. I want to put a tie around our can. So I'm going to first start with this piece of orange homespun. And it might look a little yellow, but it's orange. Well, I want to tie that around the top of our can. Since all 3 of our pieces have orange in them, it'll tie it all together. So we're going to cut a piece of this homespun, and I'm going to say I'm going probably about 2 inches wide. And you can cut along the line all the way across that, or you can just do the simple, easy way and tear across. Hi, Maria. Hi, Pat. Thank you for joining us this evening. Hope everybody has had a great Saturday. We have had a good day here. We went to the mall and picked up some supplies for tonight. The weather, it was sunny all day, but it's starting to get chilly right now. Really starting to notice that the evenings are getting chillier. And then, of course, the eve that's getting darker earlier, which I don't like. I can take the temps in the winter. It's that getting dark so soon I don't like. So I'm just going to fold my homespun back up and stick it to the side here. So we have our piece of torn homespun here, and I'm just going to leave it the length that it is, and we can cut the extra off after we tie it on the can. Hi, Eva. How are you this evening, hon? I'm going to cut the ends off of this. And then you're going to have some threads that you'll just want to pull off. Well, you take care of yourself, Miss Pat, and you get better soon. Hi, Tammy. So we're going to grab our coffee stain. And this is my bulk mix of coffee stain. You don't need this much. Cup of warm to hot water and a tablespoon or less of coffee. If you like your coffee darker, use that tablespoon. If you don't like your coffee as dark, you can cut down a little bit on that on that instant coffee. But we're just going to dip our homespun right in there. And if you aren't mixing up a bulk batch and you're just mixing up a small batch, oops. Getting coffee all over me. You said, well, how do we turn? The producer's in here now. My hands are coffee stained. The producer is in here and we're having a technical difficulty. Thank you, producer. You'll get paid later. Hi, Christine. How are you? Do I keep my in the coffee? Do I keep my coffee in the refrigerator? I don't, because I put a little bit of cinnamon in it, and I've been telling you guys, cinnamon is a natural preservative. So if you put a little bit of cinnamon in your coffee or a lot of cinnamon in your coffee, it's a natural preservative, and it will keep your coffee stain from going moldy. Well, hey, Lori, welcome in. Glad you can join us this evening. Hopefully you can hear me better now that my microphone is fixed. So we have our piece of homespun here and coffee all over me. And we're gonna, we are going to dry our piece of homespun. If you want to keep your, hi Miss Teresa, if you want to keep your coffee in the refrigerator, that's fine though. Whenever you would, I'd probably keep it in a glass or a microwave container, so whenever you go to coffee stain your item, that you can heat it up a little bit, because the warmer coffee tends to soak into the fabric a little better. Yeah, our coffee's it's always out on the counter in our container, so it's always at room temperature. Thank you for sprinkling us out, Brenda. And I kind of want this homespun to look wrinkled, so I'm just gonna, kind of keep balling it up while I'm drying it. But since we ripped it, the edges look kind of raggedy and torn, so that'll give us a nice primitive look. Thank you to everybody who's joining us. I'm glad you could be with us this evening. We're on our final night of our Halloween can with the pokes. We had done a pumpkin, a witch, and a black cat. And all of those patterns are a free download on our Facebook page. Hola, Fatima. That's the only one I know. Hello, I think. I do plan on making these 3 pokes, not the can, but I'm going to make the 3 pokes into an e-pattern that I will be selling in my Etsy shop. But for those that have been following our page and doing these videos with us, we've offered those patterns, to you for free for joining our videos and following along with us. We appreciate all of you being here. So if you haven't downloaded those pattern sheets yet, make sure that you visit our Chestnut Junction page there on Facebook and download those 4 PDFs. And if you're just joining us, we have torn a piece of orange homespun about 2 inches wide, and we coffee stained it, and we'll be tying tying it around our can that we had painted. Oh, thank you, Christina. Has anybody made any of their pokes yet? Because remember, I will be posting there on my Facebook page, so you guys can post all of your pictures. Hi, Deborah from New York. And it's raining. Are you getting that tropical storm there in New York? I have a friend who lives in Raleigh, it's Raleigh, South. Is it Raleigh, North Carolina or South Carolina? That's terrible. I think it's North Carolina. But she had texted me today and said that they were getting that tropical storm today, and that it was really crummy outside. Yeah, it'll be nice whenever hurricane season's over. But then once hurricane season's over, snow season will start. Like I said, I don't really mind the snow and the cold. I just hate those short days. Oh, you are, Katie? Yes. My friend said that it was rainy and yucky there. She has a little girl, so they went today and got their hair done and got manicures. So that's a fun girl thing to do on a rainy day. I probably should have done this step before I came on. Winter is a mess. It is. But it still would be more tolerable if the days were longer. I feel like it gets dark at like 5 o'clock and it's like, ugh, are we supposed to like go to, it's just like you almost automatically get tired like you're supposed to be going to bed. I think we got that dry enough. So I'm going to pull off some of these extra threads here. So we have our can. We have our can here. And this is probably about 2 inches wide. So I'm just kind of gonna fold it over itself a little bit and find the middle of it, and I'm gonna put the middle across the back. And then we're just gonna tie it here in the front. It's still a little damp. Like I said, I probably should have done that before we started, so you didn't have to sit here and watch me dry. You think we ought to just tie it in a knot, or do you think it would look good in a little bow? How about some hearts for a bow and some likes for just a knot? So hit that heart button if you think we should tie it into a bow, and hit that like button if you just think we should knot it. Okay, I'm seeing a ton of hearts, so we're gonna go for a bow and see how that looks. And I'm not a bow maker at all, so I'm just gonna make a bow like I would on my shoes. So looking good so far. I'll straighten it up over here. Welcome, welcome to everybody who's joining us. I have a lot of threads here. Has anybody tried making the can, or you just like making the pokes? I'm going to trim up this end over here because it's a little longer than the other side. And just snip off a little bit of our strings here. Do you like it on that side, or should it be on the other side? Hit some hearts if you like it on this side, and hit the like button to switch it to the other side. Okay, so we'll leave it on this side for right now. Okay, so today we went to, because somebody told me that Dollar General carried the styrofoam, and our Dollar General didn't have it. All they had was the styrofoam balls. So we went to the Dollar Tree and we got these blocks. And this is a solid block. We got 2 of those. And then this looks like a block, but it looks like it's got 4 pieces in it. So between all this, we should be able to give ourselves a good base inside of our can here. So I can already tell I'm going to have to cut this down. Thank you, Denise. So I probably want to cut these down to probably about where the bottom of our homespun is hitting. So I'm going to take a knife. This is just a bread knife, and I'm going to cut that off of there. I still think I could take just a tad more off. And save your scraps. You never know what you're going to be able to use these for. Especially, we've been talking about using soup cans. So if you save your scraps, these will be perfect size to use in your soup cans. So I'm going to make sure that this other piece of foam is the same size as our first one. It's scaring the cat. I think that'll work out good. Now, this is another question I have for you. My husband and I have been, the producer and I have been discussing whether or not we'll auction off some of these items that we make on our lives. And for this one in particular, because usually I'm pretty good with being able to ship things, but for this one, if I was doing it for myself, I would definitely glue everything together. Thank you, Mary. Nice, Katie. But I'm wondering how much I should assemble this if we go and we try to have an auction, like we would do a live and come on and auction off some of our things. So is anybody interested in doing an auction? Because if so, I'm concerned about shipping this. But let's just go ahead and put it together, I guess. I guess the way I would do for myself. So I want to try to weight this down a little bit. We have got our 2 pieces of styrofoam, and they're cut down several inches from the top. So I've got some popcorn that I'm going to put in the bottom on the sides here to give this some weight. And we're going to do that so our pokes, you know, don't weigh the can down and make it fall over. But this is why I said I was concerned, like, if I tried to ship this with popcorn, it would be very heavy. I think that seems, I'm going to put, do you see I have some gaps here? I'm going to put a little popcorn down in there too. Oh yeah, this is not falling over now. So now we have our little scrap pieces, and I am going to try to cut these. Let's move this to the side just a little bit. I'm going to try to cut these down to fit inside of our open areas here. Our scraps are already coming in handy. And this styrofoam, I can't say it for all styrofoam, but the styrofoam that we got at the Dollar Tree, it's pretty flexible and easy to work with. So you can kind of just push it down in there, and it's kind of like melding in with the other styrofoam. This stuff is a little dusty. I'm going to go ahead and use my heat gun. Kind of blow this stuff away. So you can see we've got our can stuffed with styrofoam. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cover it up. So we have our 3 pokes, and I want this girl to be, I want her to be the center, the focus of the can. I think I'm going to leave her height the way it is. And I didn't bring in a measure. I'm going to say this is at least 14 to 15 inches, her stick is. And I'm going to put her down in the center, kind of towards the back a little bit. And that's going to give those other pokes some room. So we're just pressing our stick right down into that styrofoam. And she's wanting to go to the one way a little bit, so we'll just readjust her. And just press your styrofoam back in around. Do you see like she has a little hole there? Don't worry about that. If we have a little piece of styrofoam, we can shove that down in that hole to support that. So next we want to put in our pumpkin poke. And I think I'm going to cut just a little bit off of the bottom of him. Just a little bit. And it's not quite enough, so I'm going to cut off just a little bit more. Thank you, Miss Teresa. And then definitely our cat is way too tall, so we're going to cut the stick down on that. And see how that goes. Does that look good? They look like they're positioned well. So I'm going to take a little bit of my styrofoam, and like I showed you before, I'm just going to press in around these pokes just to make sure they're solid. They're all really solid, believe it or not. I'm going to go and blow this dust off again. How's everybody doing? You still following us? Does anybody have any questions? You know what I was going to do too, and I forgot, is I was going to tie a little jute around the witch's hat, and I forgot. A little good. Need to cut it just a little shorter. There we go, that looks good. And then I'm going to give her, thanks Katie, thanks Julia, thanks Brenda, thanks Lori. I'm gonna add a little Rusty Bell. My glasses. Add a little Rusty Bell to the tip of the witch's hat. Could have swore I just heard the Alexea talking in the other room, and nobody is in there, so that's a little off, unless the cats are talking to her. We're adding this Rusty Bell and gave her that tie just to jazz it up a little bit. You guys can add whatever accessories you like and just jazz it all up and make it your own. So we added little tie here and the little bell. So now we are going to add some filler for this. And I finally decided on using some paper shreds. And they are craft paper shreds. But you can use Spanish moss, you can use Excelsior, any kind of filler that you would like to use on the top of this is fine. But tonight we are going to use some shredded paper. Just push it right down in there. If you want to make this secure, you can add some white glue or hot glue on top of your styrofoam, but be careful with the hot glue because it can melt your styrofoam. So if you do use the hot glue on that styrofoam, you probably want to go with the low temp styrofoam or low temp hot glue. And when you're doing, I like it to look primitive and a little bit messy. So I'm just letting it hang over the edges. But you can adjust it any way you like. And you can add any accessories down here on this can. You can add a rusty star. You can add a rusty bell. You could add a primitive tag if you wanted to. But this is how it turned out. I love it. I think it really turned out nice. It actually turned out better than I had expected. And I hope you guys download those patterns, and I hope you make one of your own, and that you enjoy make, because this was really fun to make. I was just checking to see if anybody had any questions. Thank you, Miss Sue. Awesome, Teresa. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Shelley. Thanks, Miss Ann. I appreciate it. Thanks, Pat. So I hope you guys download all of your pattern sheets. There was 4 pattern sheets total. There was one for the label. There was one for the pumpkin, one for the cat, and one for the witch. And like I said, I will be making the pokes into an e-pattern that I will sell in my Etsy shop. But for you guys who follow my page and watch my videos, I'm offering those pattern pages to you for free because I appreciate you watching our tutorials and helping us grow our page. So I do hope you enjoy that, and I'd like to continue to offer that to you guys. If you don't already follow our Facebook page, we sure would appreciate if you followed our Facebook page, and if you could sprinkle out our video, that would be so much appreciated. And if you're watching on our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button down there in the corner. You can find our e-patterns. We do primitive e-patterns. We have over 400 of them. You can find those in our Etsy shop, which is chestnutjunction.etsy.com. And besides the e-patterns, we also sell primitive supplies. We have lots of rusty goodies. We have fabric, doll hair. That's the doll hair I used here. I only have a couple of these left. I'm thinking I only have maybe about 5 or 6 left of those. So if you're wanting to get this, hurry on that because I don't have very many left.
They asked about the shred paper, and they asked if you were to sell that, how much would you sell for? That was a couple of questions I saw come up.
Okay, the producer was just in. He said that if, oh, you're welcome, Kim. If I was going to sell this, how much would I sell it for? Is that because you're wanting to buy this piece in particular, or you're wondering how much you can sell it for if you make it? If you were wondering how much that we would sell it to you for, we will probably be doing an auction towards the end of the month, because I have these 4 finished pieces back here that will come on and do a live and do an auction and sell these finished pieces. As far as the shredded paper goes, I think I got this at Paper Mart. I'm not for certain. You also could, I'm sure, search Etsy or search eBay for the shredded paper. I hear the producer coming again. Yes, dear.
She said if she were to make it, how much could she charge for something like that?
Okay, if you were to make this and sell this, I mean, we've put a lot of hours in this. Goodness. I think 60 would be low. Me personally, I probably would put 70. I would start it at 75. You know, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of time in this. Not like I'm going, oh, there's a lot. I'm just saying for you, if you were to sell this, yeah, I would really start out at like 6. I wouldn't go less than 60 on this. I hope you guys try to sell this. I'd be excited. I hope you guys try to make this, and like I said, I'm going to post on my page, and I want you guys, even if you just make one poke, I'd love for you guys to post your finished pictures of what you guys have made, and you guys can go crazy with the pattern. You know, if you wanted to paint these instead of stitching them. I love seeing how people take our designs and make them their own. Sometimes I like them better than what we did with them. Thanks, Faisy. And I've been, I'd take you double the time. Well, at least, like, I've been trying to do it backwards too, so maybe it wouldn't. I was going to say something else. I forgot. I've told you before, my mind goes blank sometimes. I don't know what I was going to say. Okay. Oh, I know what I know now. I've been getting a lot of messages from you guys about the sewing machine. I need to look over the directions for that sewing machine that we're going to use to do some tutorials. And that, I'm going to look over at it now. It's the Singer Start 1304. And I have had quite a few of you message me and tell me that you have gone and bought that machine. So I'm going to come on here and do some lives so we can try to teach you how to sew, so you can be sewing some of these things. I also have had some messages asking me about making some crafts that you, instead of sewing them, you glue them together. So I may try to do a couple of things like that, but they're not going to be little things. They'll probably be a little bit bigger, because I just don't think that gluing some of these small pieces together is going to work. And honestly, I've never done the gluing before, so that would be a challenge in its own for me. So, alrighty guys, I'm going to get off of here, and because I need to go read those sewing machine directions. Again, this is our finished Halloween can with the pokes. Don't forget to download those patterns. And we are so thankful that you have spent your Saturday evening with us. Thank you to everybody who has joined us. Don't forget to like and follow, and we will see you next time. Have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.